as we think about life, don't just think about how much money you can make in your situation, but think outside of that to the people around us. You know, the parable of the talents. A talent was about $1 million. Now that to me makes the story look a little different. They were entrusted with something huge. And I think Jesus is telling us that parable to tell us that he's invested a lot in us too. Obviously he died for us. That's a big deal, right? But he's given us certain abilities, certain money. What are we doing with it? Are we investing it for the kingdom? I got a call from my brother-in-law who lives in the city. And years ago, he had started a ministry called FreedomWorks. And it's a ministry to ex-prisoners. So it starts the discipleship in a program in the prison. They get out of prison, and the ministry provides them housing, helps them get a job, gives them a safe place to live. It's really a neat ministry. But he said, Glenn, they have another building right beside their present one, which houses about 70 guys, and it needs some electrical work so they can get it ready and they can take in more ex-prisoners. Could you come and help? My immediate reaction, there's no way I can do that. I already have 2 jobs, teach life learning and Bible studies and guys I mentor, and no way I can do that. But then I thought about what I prayed. God, give me opportunities. So I said, well, I will see what I can do. Because I had all kinds of obstacles in my mind. Well, one by one, as I talked to the bosses, they both gave me their blessing. They said, go for it. All the obstacles disappeared. So I said, I'll go. 3 days a week, I head up to Minneapolis and I do electrical work there. The electrical work is fine, but what I really enjoy there is getting to know the guys. My helpers there, in my part, all ex-prisoners. In fact, I think nearly all of the staff is ex-prisoners. And I live in the same, when I'm up there, I live in the same building that they live in. 2 nights a week there's a community meal and I get to share time with them there. Terrible, painful pasts, but with hope for the future and loving for God. Getting to know them has been an amazing joy. I love to tell them that no one has sinned too badly that they can't be used by God. I like to tell them about Moses. Moses is a murderer, and yet God used Moses to take his people out of Egypt and bring them to the promised land. And Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Bible. I tell them about David. David was a murderer, an adulterer, and yet he wrote over half the Psalms. And God said he's a man after my own heart. I said, your past does not need to hinder you from what God can do in your life in the future. So my challenge to all of us, to me and to you, is to be faithful what God has given you. Not everybody has the same abilities, but we all have ways that we can minister.